We'll aim to obviously keep going as long as possible, or for the hour. Okay, so we've pretty much done we're warming up, aren't we now? So I think you all froze as we came into the arm float. So locking the shoulders down the back, we're going to float the arms up towards the ceiling, hold them there, palms facing away from you. Dropping the elbows down to shoulder height, and we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. In breath, floating back up to the ceiling again. On the out breath, drop the elbows down, squeeze those shoulder blades together. One more time. In breath, up to the ceiling. On the out breath, drop the elbows down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to place the hands behind the head, interlock the hands, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, then draw the shoulder blades down the back. In breath, shrugging those shoulders up to the ears. On the out breath, drawing the shoulders down the back. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together at the back. Then we're going to unlock the hands and float the arms down and just rolling those shoulders back to release them. Good. So into the next stretch, we're going to take left ear to left shoulder, right arm behind the back. Take that left hand over the head, drawing the right shoulder down, just gently feeling the stretch down the side of the neck, across the top of the shoulder. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good, and coming back up to the center again. So dropping right ear to right shoulder, left arm behind the back. Take the hand over the head, and again, just gently feeling the stretch. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feeling that lovely gentle stretch. And coming back up to the center again, and again rolling the shoulders. I'm going to place the hands behind the head again. Keep the shoulder blades squeezing together. We're going to drop the chin to the chest, and then gently increasing that stretch, feeling a nice gentle pull down the back of the neck between the shoulder blades. Good, and then coming back up to the center, keep the hands there. We're going to push the left hip forward, and then we're going to turn and look over that left shoulder, rotation through the spine. In breath to center up, push the right hip forward, and we're turning to look behind us to the right. Good, so don't bend. We're saying completely shoulders over hips, pushing the hip forward and then turning to look at the back wall. Good. One more time to each side. To the left, push the left hip forward, turn to face the wall. In breath to center, pushing the right hip forward, turn to face the wall behind you. In breath to center, and then we're relaxing the arms down by your side and rolling the shoulders back. Keeping the knees soft, left hand down, right arm up, lengthening through the waist, over and to the left side, then reaching the arm over the top. In breath to center, and we're changing arms. Good. Again, lengthening through the waist, over and to the right side bend. Good, and in breath to center, back up again and rolling the shoulders. Good. So we're going to work on our one leg. Again, if you want to have a wall or the chair, whatever, to balance, just make sure you've got something there. So planting the left foot into the mat, nice and broad, thinking of the roots coming out of the sole of the foot, coming up onto the toe of the right leg, and then just thinking of those hips staying level. So we're going to go straight into floating. So we're going to lift the right foot up, we're going to float the right foot forward, and floating it back in again. Good. One more time. Floating the right foot forward. We're going to hold it there, and we're going to do some ankle circles. Nice big circles. Going to go 3 in one direction, and then we're changing direction for 3, and then we're floating back in again, keeping the leg lifted. We're going to take it out to the side and back in. Good, one more time, out to the side and sliding back in. Now we're going to take the leg back. So obviously we're trying to keep it lifted. If that really isn't comfortable for you, take it back to the floor and slide it along the floor. So we're taking the leg back and drawing it back to the center. Now we're going to work on all three planes. So taking it out to the front, sliding it to the side, take the leg back and drawing back in again. One more time. We're going to take the leg forward, out to the side, take the leg back, back to the center, take the foot back to the floor and loosen those hips off. Excellent. Anybody finding they're getting a bit better with the balance?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. So planting that right foot. So obviously just thinking too for a second about that right foot, because the more that right foot is planted and centered into the mat, obviously the better the balance is going to be. Left heel lifted, hips level, and then we're going to float the left leg up and take it forward. Good. Bringing back to the center one more time. Take that left leg forward. I'm going to hold it and we're going to start with the ankle circles. Good. 3 in one direction, nice and slow, stretching ligaments, tendons in that ankle joint. 3 in the other direction. Good, and then floating the leg back in. So we're taking the leg out to the side now. Good, and back in. One more time. Taking the leg out to the side and back in. We're taking the leg back. Try not to tip forward with the upper body. So we're just lengthening that leg back. Slide it back to the center. One more time. Slide the leg back. Back to the center. We're going to work on all three planes. So out in front. Take the leg out to the side. Back and center. Good. One more time. Out in front. To the side. Back. Whoops. And center, and coming back to the floor. Excellent work, everyone, and just loosening those hips off. Brilliant. Okay, so when you've had a nice hip loosen, we're going to stand at the end of the mat rolling in front of you, and we're going into our roll downs. So keep the knees soft, core engaged, shoulders and necks relaxed. Deep breath in through the nose. As we breathe out, we're going to take the chin to the chest and then peeling the vertebra off the wall behind you. One at a time, arms hanging, head hanging, scooping that belly button to spine. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to roll back up. Again, thinking about the articulation. Don't just come up too quickly so the vertebrae all come up together. Really articulating through the vertebra up to standing and rolling the shoulders back. Good. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose. Draw the belly button to spine, chin to chest. And we're rolling down. Arms hanging. Head hanging, just letting the crown of the head weight you down towards the floor. Then we're going to hook the fingers either underneath the toes or place the palms flat onto the floor. I'm going to straighten through the left knee, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through both knees, head hanging, shoulders down the back. Breathing through the stretch. And then we're going to soften through the knees, walk the hands forward, and we're coming down onto all fours. Good. So, top of the feet flat on the floor. To start, knees underneath hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Keeping the belly button drawn to the spine, so try not to let that dip come through that lower back. Keep nice and lifted. We're going into the shoulder drops, So we're going to dip down between the shoulder blades. Now notice I'm not bending my elbows. I'm just dropping down between the shoulders, trying to slide those shoulder blades together. On the out breath, I'm lifting out of the shoulder joint. Good. So in breath, dipping down. So you're allowing the spine to dip between the shoulder blades. Try and get the shoulder blades to touch each other. On the out breath, lifting back up. Good. One more time. In breath, drop the spine between the shoulder blades. On the out breath, we're lifting, broadening between the scapula, and then we're going to go into the cat stretch. So the whole back. Now we're going to round thoracic back up to the ceiling. On the out breath, lengthen tail and crown. Feet on through into the back extension. Good. In breath, rounding thoracic back up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, lengthen tail and crown. Draw the belly button to spine for the back extension. In breath, rounding thoracic back to the ceiling. Out breath, lengthen tail and crown. Hold the back extension for a breath. Feel that nice stretch through the back. We're just going to flex it off one more time and coming back to your neutral spine position. Brilliant. So into the hip drops. If your wrists are starting to hurt, just come onto the forearms to do this. So dropping the hips to the right and then turn and look over the left shoulder. Good. We should be feeling the stretch sort of through the pelvic lower back region. So either, if you're not feeling the stretch, you will either want to drop the hips a little bit lower. The other thing I notice is some people sit back a little bit towards their heels. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the hips over the knees and dropping from side to side. Good. I'm just having a little look. Excellent. Everyone feeling a nice stretch through that pelvis? Good. Okay, loosening that lower back. Good. So we're going to do one more time to each side. And then when you finished with the last one, so we started with the right, you want to finish with the left. We're just going to sit back on your heels, head down to the mat and creeping those hands away from you. Good. Just breathing through that stretch. And then we're going to just, if you are sitting on your heels, lift the hips up away from the heels, walk the hands forward, and take the head down to the mat. Good. And again, just breathing through that stretch. Good. So we're slowly going to round back up. Imagine that ball inflating underneath your belly button, stacking the spine, and rolling the shoulders back. Coming back onto all fours. Again, if you've got wrist issues, come onto the forearms for the next one. We're going to slide the left leg back, tucking that toe underneath you. Keep that left hip down and push back through the hands, taking the heel to the floor. Good. Keep the pressure on. You want to be feeling that nice stretch through the calf for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that left leg in. Good. Slide the right leg back, tuck the right toe underneath you, drop the right hip down, push back through the hands, heel to the floor, and we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right knee in. Good. So into the leg and arm raise. So if you can come back up onto, if you're down on forearms, if you can come back up onto your wrist. If this is really uncomfortable for you, lie on your stomach and do the leg and arm raise. Okay, the swimming, sorry. If your wrist really can't take anymore. All right, so we're going to slide right hand forward, left leg back, keeping the shoulder and hip down as we lengthen the leg and arm away from you. Good. We'll lower back down, slide it back in, try not to shift the weight from one side to the other. Left hand forward, right leg back, reaching forward and back. Good. Lower back down and sliding back in. Now this time, we're going to take it forward and back and then to the side. Now, if it feels too much, just keep going forward and back. But if you want to progress it, we're taking the leg and arm to the side. Make sure there's no twisting through the body stays straight. Back to the center, lower back down and sliding back in. Good. So left hand forward, right leg back, reaching forward and back. If you want to progress it, take the leg and arm to the side. Good. Back to the center, lower back down and sliding back in. Right hand forward, left leg back, reaching forward and back. Now we're going to draw the knee forward, drop the nose to the knee, stay strong through the core and lengthen back away again. Good. One more time. Draw the knee forward, drop the nose to the knee and lengthen back away. Good. Lower back down and sliding the knee back in. Good. Right leg back, left arm forward, reaching forward and back. Draw the knee in, drop the nose to the knee and lengthen back away. Nice and slow. Keep strong through that core. One more time. Draw the knee forward, drop the nose to the knee, lengthen it back away again. Perfect. Lower back to the floor, sliding it back in. We're going to sit back on the heels but stay upright. Open the knees out into a wide V. Now, if that is not comfortable to you, for you to sit on your heels, take the legs out in front of you into a V shape. Okay. If you're sitting with your legs out in front of you, you can try using a pillow or something just to sit you up fractionally, just to release the hamstrings. We're going to walk the hands forward, reaching the fingers away from you, head down to the mat. Good. So walk the hands round to the left, keep the weight on your heels and reach the right arm away from you. Good. Obviously, if you're doing it with the V legs, you want to just try and keep the right seat bone towards the floor because we're trying to get the stretch all the way from sort of hip up the side, through the lat. Good. Walk the hands back to the center, and then we're walking around to the right, reaching that left arm away from you. Try and keep the left side down towards the floor. Breathing through that stretch. Back to the center again, and then we're going to walk the hands back up as we round back up, stacking that spine. Excellent. So taking the legs out in front of you, coming to the front of the mat. So the mat's rolling away behind you. We're coming to the roll back C curve just to talk quickly through the watch point. The aim is to get that lumbar spine to make a C curve there, okay, and then drop back. Now, if that doesn't happen, and some of us that doesn't happen because the lumbar spine is so stuck, if that happens, you're going to be putting a lot of strain on your back. So if you can't get that C curve, don't come too low, all right? Just come as far as you feel like you're engaging these core muscles. Okay, keeping the shoulders down the back, nice and broad between the shoulder blades. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, draw the belly button to spine, C curving through that lumbar spine. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, check that belly button is pulled in. Round back up and stacking. Good. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, draw the belly button to spine. Good. Don't come too low, just so that you can feel that core engaging. Round back up and stacking. We're going to do the arm floats this time. So deep breath in as you breathe out, rounding back to the C curve. We're going to float the left arm, follow the hand with the head, back to the center. We're floating the right arm, follow the hand with the head, back to the center, round back up and stack. Good. Deep breath in as you breathe out, rounding back to C curve, right hand this time, floating the right hand, follow the hand with the head, back to the center, left hand, drawing that belly button to spine, round, back up and stacking, open the knees, close the soles of the feet together. We're going to hook the hands underneath the calves, wrap them around the feet, and just take the head down over the feet. Just breathing through the stretch. We're just opening up through the hips here. Also lower back, just stretching that out. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to lengthen the legs, come up to sitting, lengthening the legs out away from you. Flexion through the feet. Squeezing those knees and feet together, arms out in front, good. So deep breath in, as you breathe out, we're going to roll all the way down to the floor. So C curve, remember if you feel like you're going to topple, grab your thighs, try and use your core muscles to control you here. Head down to the floor and we're reaching the arms up over the head. Keep the flexion through the feet, back of the hands onto the floor. Good. So we're going to reach that left arm to touch the wall behind you. At the same time, we're going to lengthen that left leg out of the hip joint. In breath, relaxing it back to the center. On the out breath, we're going to reach back with that right hand. At the same time, lengthen the right leg away from you. And relax to the center. We're doing one more time to each side. Left side, reach back with the hand, lengthen that left leg out of the hip joint. In breath to center. Right arm reaching back, lengthen that right leg away. And in breath to center. Excellent. So we're going to draw the knees up so the knees are bent. Heel, hand and a half length away from the glutes, keeping hip width between the knees and feet. Good. So just finding our neutral spine position. Imagine the marble on the belly button. We're going to roll that pelvis forward on the in-breath, feeling the arching through the lumbar spine. Take the chin to the ceiling. On the out breath, we're flattening through the lumbar spine and then sliding the chin towards the chest. Good. So in breath, rolling that pelvis forward, take the chin up towards the ceiling. On the out breath, flattening through the lumbar spine and sliding the chin towards the chest. Good. So keeping the chin towards the chest, nice and long through the back of the neck. We're going to float the right and left arm up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other, shoulders down the back. Good. So on the in-breath, we're going to float the arms out to the side. Good. Reaching the fingers away from you, trying to get the shoulders down into the mat. On the out breath, we're floating the arms back up to the ceiling again, shoulders down the back. One more time. On the in breath, float the arms up to the side. Feel the opening up through the chest. Think about the rib cage staying down as we float the arms back up to the ceiling again. Good. So we're reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulder lifting up away from the mat. As we lower the shoulder down, we're going to slide the shoulder blade down the back. Good. Reach that left arm up to touch the ceiling. As you lower the left arm, slide that shoulder blade down the back. reaching that right arm up to touch the ceiling. We're going to bring the right arm over to the left, follow the hand with the head. We're taking the right hand towards the floor, but don't force it. Feeling that stretch, either behind the right shoulder or through the right arm. Take the arm back up to the ceiling again, and as you lower it, you're sliding the shoulder blade down the back. Good. On our breath, we're taking the left hand up towards the ceiling. We're bringing it over to the right. Follow the hand with the head. Taking the hand towards the floor. Feel that lovely stretch through the left arm. Back up to the ceiling again. And then as you lower the arm, slide the shoulder blade down the back. Good. Palms facing away from you. We're going to go right arm up above the head, left hand comes down. Have a little think about that rib cage. Make sure that's staying down. Keeping the fingers dragging on the floor, we're going to take both arms out to the side, finishing with left arm up, right arm down, and then take the arms back up to the ceiling again. Good. Left arm up, right arm down. Keep the fingers on the floor as you take both arms out to the side, finishing with right arm up, left arm down, and floating back up to the ceiling again. So relaxing the arms down by your side, keeping the shoulders down your back. Think about the length through the back of the neck. We're going to come up into the shoulder bridge. So deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're curling that pelvis up, peeling the vertebra one at a time. Squeeze the glutes, pushing forward through the front of the thigh as we come up into the shoulder bridge position. Hold for an in breath. As we breathe out, we're going to come back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up until the end. Good. So we're going to come back up into the shoulder bridge. As we're doing that, for anyone who's got lower back problems, we're going to go into the glute squeezes. I want you to do 5 pulses, come out of it, come back into it, okay? Don't stay up for the 10 to do the pulses, all right? So when you're ready, we're squeezing the glutes. We're going to drop 2 centimeters and lift it back up. Good. For 9, and lift. 8, and lift. 7, and lift. 6, back issues, come out of it now. 5, and lift. 4, and lift. Good. 3, and lift. 2, last one, and we're coming back down, one vertebra at a time. Keep the pelvis curled up to the end. Deep breath in one more time as we breathe out, curling that pelvis again. Any back issues, either don't do the pulses, just come in and out of the shoulder bridge, or just go for 5. And we're dropping the hips and squeezing the glutes back up. Good. For 9, and lift. 8, and lift. 7, 6, for 5, 4, 3, squeezing those glutes, 2, last one, and coming back down, one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled to the end. Hug those knees into your chest, rock from side to side, and loosening that back off. Excellent, good. So just continuing to loosen the back, we're going to take both feet back down to the mat, keeping the distance between your feet and your knees. Arms out to the side, palms to the ceiling. So we're going into wringing out the washing. So we're going to start to roll the right hand back, and left hand rolls forward. Good. And I think I said this last time, what I've noticed now with seeing people sort of doing it more clearly in the flesh is that sometimes we're not quite pushing the rolls forward and back. So I want you to take the arms forward and back, take them to their full range of movement. Obviously we're not forcing it, but Go as far as you can forward and back with those hands along the floor. Good. Then start to notice that the one shoulder stays down and the other shoulder starts to roll forward. We're going to start to turn the head towards the shoulder that is staying down into the mat. And once you've got the rhythm of that, we're then going to start to drop the knees the opposite direction to the head. Now the feet are staying hip width apart, so we're just rolling onto the sides of the feet. Good. And we're working with our breath. So out breath to drop. In breath to center, and then out breath to drop in the other direction. Good. So this is a really lovely stretch, stretching out the whole body. Good. We're going to do one more time to each side, nice and slow. Good. Last one. Good. And coming back to the center again. Brilliant. And we're going to place the hands onto the front of the thigh. Okay, so this one now, any back or neck issues, I want you to go into hip rolls. So closing knees and feet and hip rolls. And of course, then you can progress by lifting one leg if you want to, all right? So that's if you've got any neck issues or back issues. If you're feeling quite happy and you want to kind of give it a try, you can place the hand behind your head and support the head. But if you're doing that, keep the elbows wide. What you don't want to be doing is pulling the head up, okay? If you're happy to do the full movement, we're starting with the hands onto the front of the thigh. Draw the belly button to the spine on the in breath, on the out breath. We're going to come up from the breastbone, sliding the hands up towards your knees. Good. We're going to hook the hand behind the knees, squeeze those abdominals a little bit tighter as we lift up further. Hands back onto the knees and lower back down. Good. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, slide the hands up towards the knees. Hook the hands behind. Draw yourself a little bit higher. We're going to pulse it now. So hands back off the knees. We're closing those lower abdominals. So we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8. Keep squeezing the belly button to spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. One more time. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, drawing the belly button to spine. We're curling up. Hook the hands behind the legs. Squeeze those abdominals to come higher. And we're pulsing for 10, 9. Keep closing those lower abdominals. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Hopefully you're feeling a bit of a burn. Hug those knees. Rock from side to side. Good. So just while you're loosening that off, I'm going to go on to I'm going to just talk through the progressions or regressions for the next one. So we're going into single leg stretch. This is the main movement up from the breastbone. Of course, you can support your head. Or, again, back issues, I want you to go into heel tap. Okay, so I don't want you to do the single leg stretch. All right, so back issues, leg and arm slurring. Single leg stretch, so both legs up into tabletop. Come up from the breastbone, looking through the toes. We're pointing the toes. We're lengthening one leg away, tapping the knee of the other. Good. And change. Now, this needs to be slow. Work with your breath. Good. Remember, if the neck starts to hurt, support your head. Good. We're doing 3 more to each side. For 3, draw that belly button to spine. For 2, last one to each side. Take the head back down. Keep the legs up in tabletop. Place the hands behind the head, come up from the breastbone and into the crisscross. So we're taking the rib to the hip, in breath to center and change. Good. 4 more. Good. Again, any back issues, I want you to keep going. With the tabletop legs, just heel tapping or toe tapping. Good. Good. 3 more to each side. Keep that core engaged. Good. 2 more. And 2. Last one. And 1. Oh, and hug those knees in. Good. Well done, everyone. And then we're going to take the knees shoulder width apart and just rocking from side to side, loosening that back off. Excellent. And then we're going to just take those feet back down to the mat. We're going to keep the knees and feet close together, arms to the side, palms to the ceiling. So controlling the movement with the core, we're going to drop both knees down to the right, head goes to the left. Just allowing the back to relax into this movement. And then we're going to lengthen, when you're ready, lengthen the left leg over the right knee, toe towards the floor. Good, just breathing through that stretch, you'll be feeling it through the glutes, or you might feel it more outer thigh, depending where the tightness is. Remember, if you're feeling it in your arm, the left arm, you can just place that hand onto your shoulder just to take a bit of stress out of that shoulder joint. Good, then we're going to stack knees and ankles, take the lumbar spine to the mat, as we center the knees back up. Good. So on our breath, we're taking both knees over to the left, head goes to the right. And then we're lengthening the right leg over the left knee, toe towards the floor. Good. If you want to increase the stretch, you can take the toe to the ceiling, the heel to the floor. Good, and then we're going to stack knees and ankles, take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Brilliant. So we're going to be grabbing our bands now, placing it around the right foot. Holding the band in the right hand and taking that leg up to the ceiling. Brilliant. So taking a pull on the bands, you're getting a nice stretch through the through the hamstring and the calf, probably getting it there. Remember, any discomfort with the knee, just bend the knee slightly. Try not to bend it too much though, because if we bend the knee, we take the hamstring out. Good. So breathing through that stretch, shoulders relax to the mat. Think of the length through the back of the neck. And then we're going to take that right leg out to the side, keep the left side down. You want to open it as far as you can, that you start to feel that pull through the inner thigh. If it gets too uncomfortable with your hip, bend the knee and drop the knee out. Good, just breathing through that stretch. Take the leg up to the ceiling, take the band in your left hand now, and we're bringing the leg over to the left, so up towards the left shoulder and over, but keep that right side down, don't tip up onto your left side. Good. And taking that leg back up to the ceiling, hold the band in your right hand again. We're lengthening the left leg away from you. So we're going to do the single leg circle, but making that circle pretty big. So we're going to bring the right leg over to the left. Lengthen the leg away from you. It crosses over the midline. Here's where I want you to be careful. Margaret, for definite, bend the knee. Catherine as well. We're going to take it out to the side, but if you have hip or lower back pain, I want you to bend the knee and then bring it back up to the center again. And then we can go back to straight leg, okay? So bringing the leg over to the left, lengthen it away from you. Any back issues, bend the knee. Otherwise, you can have straight leg out to the side, round, and back up to the ceiling again. One more time. Over to the left. Lengthen the leg away, crossing over the midline, out to the side, and back up to the ceiling again. And we're going to reverse now. So again, back issues, bend the knee, drop the knee out to the side. If you haven't got back issues, obviously keep the leg straight, crossing over the midline and back up to the ceiling again. Good. One more time. Drop that, take that leg out to the side. Lengthen away, crossing the midline, back up to the ceiling. Last one. Open the leg. Try not to tip too much through the pelvis, keeping that as centered as possible. Crossing over the left leg, back up to the ceiling. Open the band out. Bend the knee. We can change legs. So keeping the right knee bent. Take the left leg up to the ceiling, hold the band in the left hand, and we're just starting with that hamstring stretch. Good. Just breathing through that. Think of the shoulders relaxed. Think of the length through the back of the neck. Remember, if you're finding your chin is up towards the ceiling, you can't get any longer, pop something underneath your heads here, pillow. We're going to take that leg out to the side, try not to let that right side tip up. Good, so we're taking that left leg out to the left, feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. Good, back up to the ceiling, take the band in the right hand, you're pulling the leg up and over towards that right shoulder, keep that left side down. And it should feel a kind of sort of slightly nervy stretch, this one. Focusing that sciatic nerve slightly. Good, and back up to the ceiling. Take the band back into your left hand. So we're going to do that full leg. Sorry, we're lengthening the right leg away from you first. And then we're going to cross the leg over the right leg. Lengthen it away from you, take it out to the side, bent knee with back problems, and back up to the ceiling. Good. So it's quite strong movement. Any discomfort, bend the knee. Good. Out to the side and back up to the ceiling. Last one, crossing over to the right. Lengthen the leg away. Out to the side and back up to the ceiling. We're reversing now. So taking it out to the side first. Lengthen the leg away, crossing over the right leg and back up to the ceiling. Good. Opening out to the side. Lengthen the leg away, crossing over the right leg and back up to the ceiling. Good. I think, sorry, I've lost count. One more. Out to the side. Lengthen the leg away, crossing over the right leg, back up to the ceiling again. We're going to bend the knee, take the band off, bending both knees. So again, back issues, just stay. You can stay down on the mat for a sec because we're not going to put bands on. Everyone else who hasn't got back or hip issues, come up to sitting and we're tying the band. Good, so place the band fairly tight. Make sure you've got hands width above your knees. Good. And then we're going to come down onto our right side. So everyone come onto your right side. Fold your mats over a little bit at the top. And we're coming onto the right elbow. Elbow underneath shoulder. Hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked. Good. Okay, take that top arm up to the ceiling. So pushing that top hip forward, we're going to open the arm out to the left, chest to the ceiling, follow the hand with the head. Arm out breath, we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feeding through the gap and creeping those fingers away. Good. In breath, arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. Arm out breath, we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feeding through the gap and creeping those fingers away. Good, one more time. Arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. Arm out breath, bringing the arm round, palm down, feeding through the gap and creeping those fingers away from you. Good, holding that stretch and then arm up to the ceiling. Relax it down on top of your thigh. We're going to come down to lying now on that right arm. Keeping hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Placing your hand on top of the hip. So feet are going to stay glued together, squeezing your glutes. On the out breath, we're taking that knee up towards the ceiling. Try not to rock back on the hip. And squeezing and closing again. Good. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to take that knee up towards the ceiling. And we're pulsing it here for 10, 9. Keep firing the glutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower back down. Good. Arm out breath, knee and ankle up towards the ceiling, firing up that left glute, and we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. So just to say again, if you have got, you're struggling with your back or hip at the moment, 10 might be too many for the pulsing, so just do 5 and come back out of it again, or just do the up and down, don't even do the pulsing, see how you feel. So on the out breath, we're taking that knee and ankle up to the ceiling, firing up the glutes, and we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down again. Good. Give that a pat off. We're lengthening the legs away from you now. Keep the hand on the hip. We're pointing through the toe. Take the leg up towards the ceiling. Flex. Lengthen the hip away and lower back down. Pointing to come up. Flex. Lengthen and lower back down. Good. Pointing to come up, flex, lengthen, lift the waist up away from the mat to lower. Last one, pointing to come up, flex, lengthen, and lower back down. Again, back issues, keep going with the outer thigh raise. Don't do this next one. So we're going to point the toe to the floor. So keeping the toe pointing to the floor, we're going to take the leg up. Toe to the ceiling to lower back down. Toe to the floor to come up. Toe to the ceiling to lower. Good. Toe to the floor to come up. Toe to the ceiling to lower. Good. 2 more. Toe to the floor to come up. Toe to the ceiling to lower. Last one. Toe to the floor to come up. Toe to the ceiling to lower back down. Good. Give it a pat off. We're going to grab hold of that left ankle, heel to the glutes. Slide the knee back so you feel that nice stretch through the front of the thigh. Breathing through that. Good. 5, 4, 3, keep the pressure on. 2, 1, and lengthen that leg away. Perfect. Okay, so we're coming on to our left side, starting with the mat rolled over. Good. Stacking feet and hips. Make sure the elbows underneath your shoulder. Top arm up to the ceiling. Good. So on the in-breath, push that top hip forward, open the hand out, chest towards the ceiling. On the out-breath, we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feeding through the gap and creeping those fingers away. Good. In-breath, arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Again, if it feels too much with the arm to reach it behind you, place the hand onto your shoulder and just drop the elbow to the floor. Bring the arm round, palm down, feed through the gap and creeping those fingers away. Good. Last one now, arm to the ceiling. Push the top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. And then bring the arm round, palm down. We're going to hold this stretch for a breath. Creep the fingers away from you. Feel that lovely stretch through the back. Good. Arm back up to the ceiling again and relax on top of your thigh. Good. So coming down to lying on your left arm again, making sure those hips and shoulders are stacked. Keeping the feet together, squeeze that glute and we're taking the knee up towards the ceiling. Good. And closing back down. On our breath, squeeze those glutes, knee to the ceiling, and we're pulsing it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. On the out breath, knee and ankle up towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Good. On the out breath, squeezing through the glutes, knee and ankle up to the ceiling. We're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeezing back together. Excellent. Give that a bit of a tap off, lengthening the legs away from you, keeping the hips stacked, pointing through the toe. We're taking the leg up, flex, lengthen, and lower back down. Good. Pointing to come up, flex, lengthen, and lower. Good. 2 more. Pointing to come up, flex, lengthen that top line and lower, pointing to come up, flex, lengthen, and lower back down. Good. Keep going with that if you have any back issues. Otherwise, we're going to point the toe to the floor, take the leg up, toe to the ceiling to lower back down, toe to the floor to come up, toe to the ceiling to lower. Good. 3 more. Toe to the floor to come up, toe to the ceiling to lower. 2 more. Toe to the floor to come up, toe to the ceiling to lower. Last one. Toe to the floor to come up, toe to the ceiling to lower back down. Excellent. Give it a bit of a pat off. And then we're going to bend the knee, grab hold of that ankle, slide the knee back till you start to feel a pull through the front of the thigh. Breathing through that. Good. 3, 2, One, and shake that leg off. So if you can just untie your bands, if you want to come up to sitting, that's fine. We're going to take the bands off and we're going to come onto our backs. Good. And we're going to start off with the left ankle onto the right knee. So either just push that left knee away from you, or if you can, we're going to draw that right knee up to your chest, shoulders down your back. Good, just breathing through that stretch, and then we're going to roll slightly onto the right side to increase the stretch there. Thinking about the length through the back of the neck, trying to relax the shoulders down to the mat. And we're holding that for 3, 2, 1. We're center back up. We're going to change legs. So we're placing the right ankle onto the left knee. Draw that left knee up, or just pushing that right hip away from you. And we're breathing through that stretch, and then we're going to roll over onto that left side, lifting that right up, the right side up slightly, just increase that stretch. Again, thinking of the length, back of the neck, shoulders relaxed and down, breathing through that. Good, and centering back up again. So we're slowly going to take those feet back down to the mat. Roll onto your sides, come up to a sitting position. Take the legs straight out in front of you. Flexion through the feet. Hinging from the hips, we're going to drop the chest over your knees, shoulders down your back. Good, just breathing through the stretch. And as I always say when we do the stretch, it is a lovely stretch, not only for stretching calves and hamstrings, but it also releases lower back. And again, if you find it hard to sort of tip forward, always place some blocks underneath you. That just helps to release the hamstrings a bit. Rounding back up and stacking that spine. So turning onto all fours and tucking your toes underneath you. We're pushing up into down dog, heels to the floor, take the head through to the knees. Again, just relax those shoulders down your back, breathing through that. We're softening through the knees, walk the hands back towards your feet. On the out breath, we're going to round back up, stacking that spine. Excellent work, everyone.
Thank you.